Okay, so yeah, mainly hacks to get through the holidays and any super mom hacks. One of the biggest things I was stressing about was a baby being around lots of people around the holidays. And the best advice that other moms gave me was just wear your baby. And that's what I did over Thanksgiving. And my baby did not get passed around. And I was super happy about that. Um, I thought that was awesome. The other piece of advice that somebody gave me was just go take nap breaks with your baby, and it's a nice, I want to say, quiet moment to pause and just connect with your little one, breastfeed, and just slow down where the hustle and bustle can stay downstairs or in the kitchen or wherever it is. So those two big pieces of advice I got for being around big groups around the holiday setting. Not sure if y'all have any thoughts or reflections or experiences with that. If you want to share anything, or if you have to be around lots of people and you're a little nervous. Anyone? If not,
Yeah,
I'll.
I had Cameron during COVID in 2022.
Oh,
She was born in November. And so it was interesting because I almost felt like we didn't have enough connection. So it was like
oh,
the reverse for me.
yeah,
But yeah, definitely. I wore her all the time. That was always my default. It was always, always, always to wear her because, people might come and, choose to pat her on the butt or whatnot while she was being worn by me, but they're pretty
yeah.
respectful of the boundary of it. And I definitely think that that's the way you can hold them. Yeah, they're not, no one's going to come take your baby away from you if they're on you in a wrap. it's,
Totally.
it's a pretty good boundary to set. But yeah, things are just different now. Even back in 2020, it's different than it is now. So I definitely hear that there's the need to keep the babies close
Mm-hmm.
and have that
It's
have
a
them not
whole
as
new world.
available.
Yeah, a whole different world than 2020. Hi. Uh, oh, okay. So hacks, what are you doing if you're hosting? Um, I know Chelsea's hosting. I know other people are hosting. Um,
I have
Bria,
no
are
idea.
y'all hosting? Oh, sorry, I interrupted somebody.
No, I was just saying I have no idea. Bria, are you hosting by chance? Another plan?
Anyone bringing family in, that's hosting. Um, we aren't hosting. We shut it down mainly because we thought baby girl was going to be born at the end of September, but she was a month early. So we told everybody we're not doing anything for Christmas, and we are kind of kept our word on that. But
Yeah.
I don't know, Brie, are y'all hosting? Is your family coming in?
We are not hosting. We're actually going to
Nice.
be away. So we're going to be in Idaho. I'm
Ooh.
in-laws. So a different kind of boundary. It's just, we're going to be traveling and flying,
Oh,
which is a different kind of, thing. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because our baby would have been, so I had a miscarriage and we had the loss in May. I'm interested to see kind of how the whole experience goes with boundaries and so forth because the baby is actually due on Christmas. And so it's going to be interesting to kind of be there. But I have a really supportive, my family is super supportive, my mother-in-law and father-in-law. And so
yeah, they're awesome.
they're really good about if I need to go take a nap or whatnot, or taking Cameron, our oldest, she's 3. And so I feel really supported in that setting. But yeah, it's like a different house that we're just going to be in essentially. But they do bring people in. So I've just asked for them to communicate with us, like what days they plan on having guests so that I can have a heads up and
Mm.
some important staples around that. So we just really ask for communication and they're very respectful of that. So I feel grateful. Not everyone has that, but yes.
That's awesome. That's communication, I think, is the biggest thing. Like whether it be with your significant other, husband, boyfriend, partner, in-laws, family wherever you're going to stay. Um, yeah, I think that's huge.
For me, it's pretty simple because our family that would be together is pretty small. It's like 7 of us.
Yeah.
Um, and my mother-in-law, she might not be there. I don't know. It kind of depends. She's in China right now because her mother passed away, and
Oh,
kind of took like a one-way ticket because she wasn't sure how long her mom would like be living while she was there. But luckily, she was able to be with her. You know. So
yeah.
then at this point, it's like my husband and his dad, and then my mom, brother, uncle. And me and the
And
baby.
y'all are
So
all super close.
we are like we did that for Thanksgiving. My in-laws hosted, but my family all stayed at our house again. And we're
Okay.
doing that again, I mean. And with the baby, it's fine. And I think the hardest part is getting, I don't have a routine, right? So, like,
Yeah.
that whole putting her to bed while everyone else was up and socializing, that didn't really happen. She just slept in my arms and we
Aw.
continued to play games, all that stuff. But nursing was definitely the hardest part, like trying to enjoy a meal and nursing through that. Um,
Yeah.
but as far as like a strategy, I have no strategy. Just see what happens.
Whatever goes, goes.
Yeah, just no kissing. That's still like on the rules list. Um, we had our
Oh,
4 month
that's good. Yeah.
and my husband asked the question. He was like, the doctor said it's not that big of a deal after 2 months, but also, based on your comfort level and
Yeah.
like other people's exposure to stuff. So
Yeah. That's interesting. That was a rule of mine too at Thanksgiving. And still kind of, but we won't have any huge family gatherings. My stepdad was recently in the hospital for RSV. He's older. He's 85. But I know there's like a gnarly respiratory virus going around, and he got it and he was in the hospital for 5 days. I was like, holy cow. And he's usually pretty resilient to things. But I think it just made me like I had dropped my guard a little bit, and then I was like, okay, the guard's still there. We're still no kissing.
yeah, fair enough.
um, One hack that I recently learned was nursing my baby in the carrier. Um, um, and that, like, I wouldn't say I'm a professional at it yet, but I learned this from Hannah, who is our videographer, creative person on BirthFit. And Hannah she's got 2 boys, and she's nursed them both, like no bottles, nothing. And I always used to see her with her oldest boy nursing in the carrier. I'm like, that's goals. How do you do that? So she was showing me like how to loosen the opposite side of the carrier, and you kind of lower the carrier down and pull your shirt up, pull your boob up, and then there you go. Um, so I've tried that on our walks, and it's worked. And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Um, so I might
So
try
which
it in
kind of
public.
carrier is that? Like a
So
harness or the wrap?
So it's not the wrap, you have to have a more structured carrier.
Okay.
I've tried it in the Tula and the Artie Pop. I haven't tried it in the Ergo because my husband takes the Ergo all the time for him.
Yeah.
So it's like set on his size. But you definitely have to have a more structured carrier.
Okay. Yeah, that is a goal of mine. Not there
Right?
yet.
Like, because then nobody can tell either. Like if you're in public, you could just you could just
Kind
put
of do it.
something over, yeah, over like a hat, or even just your shirt covers it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. That was one of the hacks I recently learned. I was like, we have to have a call about this.
Smart.
Um, okay, so any hacks? I won't be traveling on a plane anytime soon, but I know Bria is and some others. And I've heard some great hacks that I'll share for traveling with the baby on a plane, but do y'all have any that you've used?
Yeah, different different kinds of things. So definitely the carrier thing. So the carrier thing is a trip because some airlines, it's funny, I've only actually been asked by male flight attendants if my carrier is safe and approved by the whatever it is, the flight
Really?
TSA, yeah, to wear during takeoff. And if not, they'll just ask you that you take the baby out, which I don't always do. I just ignore it. But
Yeah.
is something sometimes that comes up. So don't let that rattle you. I don't even know why the carrier thing is in question because the baby's going to stay on you for the flight anyway.
Yeah. Especially like because they're under 2, right? Like they can get.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was an interesting one that again, it was just the male flight attendants. The female flight attendants didn't seem to have any concern about it. But I had the ergo and then the Moby wrap. So I mean, those were a soft wrap
Okay.
and a structured wrap
Yeah.
at different points in time. I was asked, but I'm like, as soon as you walk away, I'm putting my baby back in because I'm not going to sit here and hold her when she's not as comfortable in the wrap. And the other one is with TSA. Just there's a lot of tricks I picked up from other moms. Like we pumped a lot, and so we traveled a lot with breast milk. If you have it frozen when you go,
Yeah.
it's easier to get through TSA. But if you can't have it frozen, you can decline having it go through the x-ray machine, which is really important. So you can say, no, I want it hand checked. But you're going to need to make sure that they change their gloves. Like they just don't think about those things. Some TSA people are really, really mindful, but some are not. So keeping your pack with you, this again, more if the breast milk is solid, it's less of an issue for them. But if it's liquid, then they will want to check it, which again, you can decline it going through the x-ray machine, but you will need to ask them to change their gloves and to wait until you can stay with them to observe the process. Because then they're handling like your bottles and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
is cool. And it's, it's sometimes it's no issue. At some airports, it's not a problem. Just like, TSA is not a problem at some airports, but others
Yeah.
it's an issue. And the other hack is I've traveled both with support, which is great.
Yeah.
Having a partner there or a family member is super helpful. But if you can't, sometimes depending on the age of your child, if they're a little wiggly and like maybe it's nap time, and you can take your car seat with you if you're able to carry it to the gate and you can gate check it. But there might be a chance if you talk to the flight desk that there might be an extra seat next to you, and they'll oftentimes allow you to put the seat next to you if you want to, like if they're a wiggly one, like Cameron when she was 1, there was no way she could be on me. When she was in her car seat, she would sleep. And so I was able to take it on a flight by myself. And so they were really kind to accommodate that. So you can always ask or check it at the gate if you can't.
That's awesome. That's a good tip about bringing breast milk through the security because you never know. I
I
stood
would
at
have never thought of that.
yeah
Not even a little bit.
yeah. When I was
That's so
pregnant,
smart.
we flew at the very end, and even before pregnancy, I always asked for the pat down, and oh, you just went. I don't know if y'all can hear that huge diaper brewing.
No. So just
But
had it.
they made me wait, like you were talking about, Bria, like 30, 45 minutes just for a female to pat me down. And I was like, I don't care, my husband's right there. But yeah, it totally depends on TSA, who's in TSA, what your experience is going to be. It's interesting.
They
Oh,
also let you take
hey,
water
Kat.
through. This is Kat, sorry.
They let you take
They
water
also,
through.
because with formula, you have to use distilled water. So if you like,
Oh.
they don't check for formula in water because they're not that smart, but like you can take your bottle of water through and they'll just check it like they check the milk. Like Bria has had her milk
Ah.
checked. So like if you want like your own water, you can take water through as a mom with babies who are still drinking milk or nursing. So that was super
Dang,
clutch for me personally
dang,
because
yeah.
I don't like other water besides my own filtered water.
Yeah. There was one of my other Cairo friends told me she would, with her little one, she would that's I need a diaper change. She would pack different big like gallon Ziploc bags of like a diaper, changing outfit, and some wipes. and she would use that inside the airplane or at the airport instead of like lugging her diaper bag around. And obviously it works if you have a support person there. So you can leave the other things with that support person. But she said that was clutch because, you know, if you have a blowout, you could just throw one outfit away. And she said, always wear whatever you're okay throwing away. But I thought that was a good little tip for the airport travels. Okay, those are awesome airport travels. Anybody, I don't know if y'all have seen this flyaway bed on social media, but it's like a little blow up bed for kiddos that you can put in a seat and basically they can lay on it. I don't know if y'all have tried that, seen it, had any experience with that.
No, my children always love to sleep on me. So I would not purchase that personally because I have Velcro babies at the very beginning. So, and plus when we take off, you always want to nurse because it'll help their ears. So I've always just nursed and Madeline's always just fallen asleep. So I never do that. And like, I've never bought her a seat either. So I never have a seat to put something like that on. So I typically just let them sleep on my boobs.
Kat, what are you gonna do traveling with twins? Do you have any trips coming up? Airport travels?
Well, I do. We're going to South Carolina January 10th for 2 weeks. And I am going to see if I can figure out how to tandem nurse at takeoff and landing for the 4 flights that we have. I don't
Is
know. We'll
your
see.
husband gonna be with you?
Yes. So technically every baby under 2 has to have a lap to sit on. So I could actually never travel alone with them, which is silly, but also probably for the better because I would probably try to travel alone and with the toddler. So it's probably better. But we'll see. And I think I'm thinking about maybe taking a bottle with me and having some pumped milk or just pump some before the flight. Just in case Roth needs to feed one at takeoff, but they've never gotten a bottle, so I don't know if we'll take it.
Yeah.
But it might be worth a shot. But yeah, the thing is, like, we're not sitting next to each other, so when I get to the airport, I'm gonna see if they can get all of us next to each other.
Oh my gosh.
So I can like have him as like, because I don't want people seeing me tandem nurse, like both boobs hanging out. I'm pretty solid. So I'm gonna see if I can get him next to us in our seats, and then I'm totally down to try to tandem nurse. So yeah,
that's some real super mom status.
Well, if it happens, I'm definitely getting a picture because I'm like, this is humbling, but we'll see. I don't know how to work, but that's my goal is to try to do that. But otherwise, my plan for traveling is I'm taking my my double Bob stroller, which is a jogger stroller, because both babies can fit, and then Madeline can fit in the front of it. And then I have space to put a bag on top and underneath, and then I'll gate check that. And then I'll have both of my carriers with me, like my Lila babies and my husband, who is the ultimate baby carrier. And yeah, so I try to pack as light as possible. So like my sister's gonna have some cloth diapers at my mom's for me. My mom has all of the car seats we need where we're at, so I don't need to take any car seats, thank God.
Oh, that's good.
And my mom buys clothes and makes clothes for my children, so I don't have to take a ton of clothes with us. So I'm packing as light as possible. So yeah, that's my plan. But we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know about the takeoff and landing.
I don't know if y'all have heard Kat's birth story, but she gave birth to twins at home, free birth style. She found out last minute at 38 weeks. Was it, Kat, that you were having twins?
Yeah, 38 and a half weeks.
Wow.
It was fun though.
Way to go.
There's a surprise of a lifetime, huh?
Yeah, it keeps surprising me every time. I'm like, oh my God, I have twins. I have twins. The wild ride.
Yeah. Has anybody rented, we were gonna have to do this, but we're not because we're driving now. Rented a car seat with a car at a destination? Anybody?
No, I looked into it and I was like, hell no. It is so expensive. You
That's what
could
I've
go
heard.
buy a Target, like a cheap Target one for
Yeah.
the same price that you're gonna rent it for.
Oh,
So what I do is when I was just traveling with Madeline, I have a crappy car seat, I say. It's up to standards, but it was like convertible for when she was really little to when she was like really big. And it's like just a safety first Target $80 thing.
yeah.
And I never even put it in a bag. I just checked that sucker. And if it got beat up, I didn't even care. Like, I just didn't care because it works. Like, it's just like you just need a car seat that fits, that hits standards, you know? And my
Yeah.
children aren't picky about car seats because I don't know. I buy used. I don't know. But yeah, so that was what I do because all airlines let you check them for free. So,
Ooh, that's
and
good.
it's super
Yeah.
simple.
I'm glad I've heard that it's super expensive and you might as well just either rent one, borrow one, or buy one. Um, if you have to rent a car at a destination. Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, so the biggest hack or I think obstacle over the holidays is trying to get some alone time, whether that be 5 minutes or a shower or whatever. But I think getting that time is super, super valuable so that you can show up fully as a mom and whatever kind of self-care you need to do, do it. The other day, my husband goes, I need some self-care. I'm gonna go stretch. I was like, oh, you need self-care? Um, but do y'all have any hacks for getting your alone time, your self-care, your showers in over the holidays or when you have a full house or when you're traveling? Um, anything, anything goes, even if it's 5 minutes.
Well, with my parents, it's always like better to like we stay with my family. And I'm
Okay.
like, hey, on Tuesday, I'd really like to do this. Are you able to like watch the kid from this time to this time, even if it's just like an hour? And
Yeah.
that's typically helpful for my parents because they're big like planners. So I typically ask ahead of time.
Yeah.
Um,
Communication.
but yeah, but otherwise, like there's enough people around to where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go shower. Can you just handle this for 20 minutes? And then that's what I do. So, but yeah, it's typically enough hands around to kind of watch baby.
That's good. And you trust everybody.
Yeah, I've thought about that. Like I'm someone who at holidays, like as long as it's not a super perfumed up aunt or somebody who's like out like drunk, I want
Yeah.
people that I love and know and whatever being introduced to my baby, and like those are the germs that I want them to get. So I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm okay with the pass around, especially now that I have twins. I'm like, please hold a baby. But yeah, so I'm cool with the pass around if people want to hold them, unless I just genuinely intuitively don't feel comfortable with that person.
Yeah.
Then I wrap them to me. So yes.
That's a good call. Intuition. Mm. Yeah, it's funny. You have to plan your showers as a new mom. Like, hey, can I shower on Thursday?
I have to I have to warn Roth. I'm like, hey, this is gonna be a longer shower because I have to wash my hair.
Yes.
Otherwise, I can do like a quick 5 minute shower and I'm totally good. But
Yeah.
like, I don't have to warn him. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a little longer, so be prepared.
Chelsea, how does showers go for you right now with a 4-month-old?
It really depends. Like a lot of times I can get to a place where she's relaxing in the bed, so we go sleep. And then
Yeah.
we wake up, she'll just kind of like be fine. I leave her in the center of the bed and I put the baby monitor on in the shower with me. And I'll like watch her because I have a ledge at the top, so it's above all the water and everything.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
yeah, so then I can like tell if she's getting crazy, I need to hurry it up or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then my husband works from home, so if I need anything, I can scream and be like, "Go get it," you know.
I can scream.
But fortunately, that nothing crazy is like that happened. I'm like right next to the bedroom she's in, so
Aw.
yeah, I haven't like found a rhythm for like, oh, I'm gonna do it every other day. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
sure it's at this set time so that we always have a plan. No, just none of that.
Yeah. No rhythm yet over here either. Y'all, I tried. I don't know if I told, maybe I just told my husband this. Um, I tried to bring her in the bath or in the shower with me because somebody told me it works for them. Um, and it was just us two here. I was like, I really need a shower. Let's try this. And she had her little bath, and they said just set the bath up at the opposite end of the shower head, and you shower, and she'll be there in her little bath. Um, oh, she did not like that. She was pissed. I was like, nope, that was not a hack. That was traumatizing for both of us. That's not gonna work.
Does she like bath time?
She loves it, but like usually it's me and her in there together.
Yeah, I was like, I hold my babies because we don't have a bathtub. So I've always had to
Yeah.
hold my babies and they like it. So what I do is I take like a little swing or bassinet or bouncer. I have the Baby Bjorn bouncer. I
Uh-huh.
typically take that in there, leave the towel on it, and then like I bring the baby in and I like shower with them really quick, and then I put them in that while I finish showering. And they tend to like that because they're wet and they're kind of like bundled and they're just like looking around. They're like, what is happening? So
So you get your
that's
baby
my
Bjorn wet?
no, I leave it
Oh.
outside to the shower. We have like
Oh.
a little square standing shower, but I have successfully showered with both of the twins, so
Holy
by
shnikes.
myself.
Wow,
So
Kat.
yeah, one after the other, of course. But yeah, I was like, let's just try this. Let's see if I can do it because they were kind of stinky. So
How old
and
were
I
they
needed
when you
it.
did that?
What's that?
How old were they when you did that?
Probably probably 4.5 months.
Okay.
So they've only gotten like 4 showers in their whole life. So we don't bathe a lot over here when it comes to babies.
Yeah. I mean, we just like the water dip. Like she loves water. And I don't know if that's because she knows she was like born in water or what, you know?
Do you remember that one? There was a meeting in the middle of the day. I think it was, and I had Madeline in the bathtub because it was just like the only thing that was gonna save her. I was like on a meeting. I'm like, this is where we're at today, folks. And like water is like lifesaver, like outside is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's like state shifts. Um, there was a dad's group that Lance learned that from, like state shifts. Like if your kid's having a little trauma, can't figure it out, elicit a state shift. Go outside, dip in the water, rub a wash rag over their head, whatever. Um, and then he said, while I'm on this topic, where if they're like toddlers, um, to like if they're having a meltdown, to go grab like an apple or a banana and come back in the room and be like you're holding a banana and be like, I'm gonna enjoy this apple. And the toddler's like, wait, the toddler just stops because they're confused. They're like, no, wait, that's a banana. But dad's calling it something else, you know. Those are two of the tips Lance came home with one day. I was like, that's pretty good. State
I'm
shift.
gonna use that.
Yeah, try it on Madeline.
I'm going to.
She's like, no, wait, that's a banana. Nope, I'm gonna enjoy this apple. Um, what was I gonna just what were we talking about before the shower? Yeah, all she knows is bath time, and she loves it. But yeah, I haven't successfully
Do you
showered.
let the water hit them though?
It would, so when I was in there with her, it hit like her feet.
Yeah,
Um, and I bet, some splash on her face whenever I
yeah,
was like turned around, and that's probably what freaked her out. And that we were like such different heights, you know.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
that's
okay,
fun.
fine, we won't do it.
But then Kat was saying she'll wear the harness and give like a scrub down in the harness and then put them down in a chair like in front. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to visualize
Yeah, me too. I was like, how does this go?
it.
Uh,
Yeah, that time is tough. It doesn't
yeah,
happen, but maybe once a week. Sounds like that's okay though.
totally fine. Like even I don't know if we bathed her for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe. Maybe it took a month before we tried one bath and it was like we were more traumatized than she was. We're like, we're not gonna do this. Like she's clean.
Yeah,
But
it was scary at the beginning when they're so
yeah,
little.
heck yeah, they're so tiny.
I'm
So
alone
tiny.
and responsible for this.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, it's wild. But
Has anyone driven with a baby? Like, are there tips for like going on a road trip with them?
that is a great question because we're about to go on a road trip in January and um I keep looking at like places like Reddit or other places like tips for driving with babies, especially if they're like over their car seat. Because she'll get in and she's fine for like 20, 30 minutes, but then it never fails. There's always a huge blowout. Like I think she relaxes and it's like on point. And then I change the diaper and we nurse, and then she doesn't want to get back in her seat. So, like, what the heck?
Well, I've traveled with Madeline quite a few times, and uh the key is driving during their like heaviest sleep hours. So it might be the worst hours for you, but like we've driven through the night before because that's absolutely the best time to get them to sleep
Yeah,
with Madeline. But the twins, we did not do that. We tried leaving early one time and it didn't work out because they weren't at the point where they were sleeping in their car seats yet,
yeah.
like solid. So I just sat in the back and I managed both babies the whole time while my husband drove, and just take your place in the back seat for the first like 7 months of their life.
That's what I've been doing. What
And
great when
whether
Lance
you
me.
like lean over and give them the boob,
Yeah,
or
take
you
'em
are
out.
open to taking them out, nursing them, and putting them right back in while they're driving, or stopping every time they need to nurse, that's up to you. But
Yeah.
like, do what you feel is best, and in that scenario. But yeah, we did a trip to Washington. It was 9 hours with the twins when they were a month old,
Whoa.
maybe a month and a half. Oh, it wasn't my favorite trip. I'll just say that. I liked being out there, but the drive wasn't my favorite. But we survived it. I mean, they'd fall asleep. I sat back there. I tried all different things. Like I'd rub their forehead, they'd fall
Yeah.
asleep, pacifiers, like blocking the sun, singing to them, like all the things, you just whip out all the things. So, um, and then yeah, and then Madeline's at the age where she can travel, but with babies, it's hit or miss. I just try to find their deepest sleep hours and travel during that time is my bestest suggestion.
That's what others have said.
Yeah.
When we drove up to Dallas over Thanksgiving, which is 4 hours, 4.5 hours for us, we left at like 5 a.m. Because she at that time she was waking up somewhere around 4:30, and I would nurse, change her diaper, and she'd go back to sleep. But when we put her in the car, she was like wide awake. So she did not go back to sleep. Um, but yeah, I did kind of those things that you were talking about, Kat, where it's like whatever you feel comfortable with, you're doing. Like we would stop to mainly get fresh air because it was nice. Um, change your diaper because she does not like sitting in any sort of diaper. Um, and then I would take her out to nurse her, and usually because she had worn herself out crying or staying awake, um, there was like a long stretch of staying awake for her. Then after nursing, she would fall back asleep. But at that time, she was only asleep for like maybe 30, 45 minutes each time. Um, but yeah, it totally helps when your husband or somebody else is driving and you can be in the back with them. I
Yeah. I've
That's
done it solo. I've done it solo with Madeline when we drove back from Denver. I had
Whoa.
her, I was like 35 weeks pregnant, and then 2 dogs in a trailer, and blah. And with when they're older, it's a little easier
Yeah.
because you can do entertainment things. But when they're babies, having a driver is key.
Yeah, because they don't understand what's going on.
No, no. And there's a point in time where they turn a corner where they will sleep for like hours, with my children, anyways. But I know a lot of people who, like, right out of the gate, they sleep 3 hours. I'm like, no, mine are like
No.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
When's that corner come?
so it's hit or miss. You just got to pull out all the stops and just figure it out, you know?
When do you think that shift was for Madeline? How old was she?
I swear she was like 4 months where she started sleeping longer. The
Okay.
twins are not quite there yet, but I don't put them in their car seat as much as I did with Madeline. Like, Madeline and I went somewhere every day. I'm
Yeah.
lucky if I get out of the house once a week. Yeah, with twins. So, but like, they fell asleep the other day when it was like their nap time, their third nap. And I was like, oh, they fell asleep. That's awesome. It was like a quick little 30-minute nap. So like we're headed in the direction. But
Yeah.
yeah.
You feel it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I just need to probably get in the car more. So
Yeah, I was
yeah.
thinking that Vera and I we get in the car at least 3 to 4 times a week. But
Yeah. There's also this little, if you get like, I don't like electronics, but I have this little remote thing. It's like lights up with 3 different colors and it sings really stupid songs. But when in doubt, that thing saves me from a complete meltdown. If you're
awesome.
down to, you just find like a stupid little electronic toy that plays music and has lights.
Okay.
And that'll save you, it'll get you to a rest stop at least. Where you're not wanting to pull your hair out. So that and
Are y'all
crunchy.
road tripping anytime soon?
No, but it's typically what we would do
Yeah.
if we go on a
Same.
trip. Yeah, we don't fly that often.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, it's whatever. We go to the grocery store, I run errands for like 5, 6 hours pretty consistently because I
Oh,
like to
that's
be out
good.
and about. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'll do anything. I'll go make returns. I'll buy something, make another return, whatever. Like, because holiday shopping, I'm getting all these decorations.
Yeah.
Our first time hosting, and I'm like, oh, let's try this, try that, blah blah blah. So then I'm
Oh,
like
that's good.
creating reasons for me to leave the house.
Yeah.
She's pretty good. She'll like sleep most of that time, and then I can, feed her somewhere in the
Yeah.
middle, decide where to go.
Yeah. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, if she does that, you could totally road trip.
Okay, fair.
You guys could totally road trip. Yeah, if you're in the car a bunch, she'll do it. Just know her nap routine and like try to hit those times. You'll be solid. Yeah, you're
There is
good.
no nap routine. It is just whatever happens, happens. But
Yeah, and if she falls asleep in the car already, yeah, you're
she loves
solid.
it.
She's used to being out.
I
Hey.
love that. Thank you.
Ooh.
I have to tell my husband.
Heidi, I don't know if you can hear us, but we're talking about road trips and any hacks anybody's tried, heard about, gotten. Yeah, maybe I should start running errands more. We kind of live out in the country, so it's like the nearest Target is literally like 30, 45 minutes.
Different. That's a very different
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah. So we like stock up to like not leave the house for, a week.
Seriously, like half of my walks are to go run an errand because I'll say, oh, I'm not like in a major downtown area or anything, but I live off of a trail in a suburban area. So I can walk to the grocery store. I can walk to even Lowe's if I want to and go for like 7 mile walk with her. And that's really fun because I get my exercise in and she gets to be out and I get something done. So.
Yeah. You just reminded me of this book. I don't know if you've heard of it. Hunt, Gather, Parent. But it's a great book, but basically it's like what you're doing it. It's like include them on your chores, on your errands. If they nap, save that for your own self-care time, your pleasure time, whatever if you want to have a bowl of ice cream or want to take a shower and it brings you joy, do that during that time. But if you have to fold laundry, do it with them in some form or fashion. So you're running errands, you're doing what the book says.
Okay, gotcha. The
Yeah.
old story. I don't know. It's like what my mom would do. So I learned
That's
from her.
awesome. Aw. Okay, we covered
Madeline used to do everything with me. Like
yeah.
we did everything together. Like she'd go to the gym. She was so good at the gym, like everywhere. So it's a little harder
It,
with twins,
I
but
was
we're
just
doing
gonna
it. We're
say,
trying.
yeah. My mom,
Um,
so I have twins, siblings, Kat, that are 2 years younger than me, probably like the same age gap. But my mom said she had to fly one time with them. And there's probably, more regulations now, but she had to fly from Atlanta to Texas with me and the twins. And she was like, that was the wildest experience ever, but people helped her so much on the plane. She was like,
that's incredible.
yeah. And you know what she said? If one needed a diaper change, basically everybody got a diaper change. Like
Oh
we're
yeah.
not,
Like
we're doing it all.
I've thought about it and how I would do it. And like, you'd make it work, but like I'm just like, how do I yeah. Yeah, it'd be crazy because those bathrooms are so small.
So
Yeah.
small. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Kudos to your mom. She's a queen.
Well, it's funny. It's like I think our parents' generations, I don't know about y'all's parents, but my mom, I feel like she forgot a lot of her super hacks. I'm like, Mom, what'd you do for this or that? Oh, I don't remember. I found out my mom used cloth diapers. I was like, you didn't tell me that. Like, what? It's just like, oh, we had a service because they lived in the middle of Houston. So basically, there was a cleaning service that would come and pick up like once or twice a week. She was like, I only did that for like 3 months. But that was like the most organic thing she did with me.
It's funny. My mom doesn't remember anything either. Like just bits and pieces,
Yeah.
but it's crazy. And I'm like, how do you, I mean, I guess I'm thinking now, I'm like, I don't remember early postpartum very well either, so I can't really give her too much slack, but I'm like, you gotta remember some stuff. Like, what did you
Yeah.
do in this case? Crazy.
Survival mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we talked about planes, road trips, trains. We don't really cover trains in America too often. But I think trains would be fairly simple, it'd be like a hybrid of planes and automobiles because you'd have to pack, light like a plane. She's just telling you how it is. Now you don't want to talk?
Chelsea is your baby. That's your first and only one, right?
Yes, that's right. So
Awesome.
I'm still learning a lot.
I'm still learning and I'm on my second pregnancy birth. So it's a lifelong journey.
And you have 3 now, you're saying.
Oh
Right?
yeah. Sure do.
Fun stuff.
It's a
I can
wild
imagine
ride.
flying with them. That's wild.
It's
For you to
wild.
do that. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to share your insights on flying with them, Kat, how
Oh.
that goes.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna share insights. Like it's crazy. Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm excited to go and see how it goes, but I think it'll be totally fine. Madeline was like a little trip warrior, so I think I don't know, they should be fine. And I always have the boob.
Yeah,
When in doubt,
pull the
boob.
boob out.
Pull the boob out. Always.
Awesome trick. Dads
Yeah.
don't get it. They're just like, what do I do? How come nothing I do works? I'm like, you don't have a boob.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny, like we tried a bottle on Vera. We've tried it twice now. First time she wasn't into it. Second time she drank like half of it. But Lance was like, the boob is so much easier. I was like, yeah. He was like, there's so much prep work that goes into a bottle. I was like, yeah, you gotta set it out, thaw the milk out, warm it up. Yeah. So I think he's like, okay, I'm over it. I'll check in when she's a toddler. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Yeah, I thought the other night I was like, maybe, I don't know, I'll just take a bottle. Like I'm just too lazy to have to wash a bottle. Like, no judgment, put
No.
breast milk in a bottle by all means, but I'm just like, no, like boob. But I think I'm gonna take a bottle with me just in case. But my plan is to just stick to the boob.
Yeah, I mean, a
Hopefully.
bottle, I'm gonna like, she's gonna stay with my mom whenever I go back to work. And so she'll have to take a bottle if she wants anything in that 5 hours. Poor thing, she doesn't even know it yet. She's not gonna be happy about that.
They'll work through it.
Flip flop. You can do either one at this point, but
She can?
yeah, because it's a long story. But at the beginning, I was kind of forced to supplement
Yeah.
to be able to leave the hospital. And then I don't know, like if it really is normal to take about a month for the baby to learn how to nurse, but that's what my experience was. And so I was almost ready to give up. I was just like, she's never gonna do this. I don't think it's gonna be my routine, you know. Um, and then my husband kept encouraging me and my mom and everybody. So
Aw.
we got there. It is because I was
So good.
asking about like, how is it easier? I don't get it. All she does is scream. Like it's a bottle is easier. She'll take it, you know. And
Yeah.
then once we got there, I see why it's easier, you know. Staying on top
Oh,
of all the
good for
parts.
you.
Oh man, it's brutal. So I haven't pumped in like a month because I was so burnt out
Yeah,
on
I'm
it.
sure.
Yeah. So
Oh, we went through some obstacles at first because she was born a month early, and she latched right away. And what I heard, like looking back now, they're like, yeah, it's more instinctual or like a reflex to latch initially, like she did. But then we had to relearn like month two because it's a learned motor pattern. Um, and so probably what happened with yours was like the bottle for her was easier to get. So that was the same for her. I had tons of milk, letdown was fine. And she could just sit there and like, but she didn't have to like learn to use her tongue or her mouth or anything. So that was like month two for us was like, okay, let's relearn how to latch and do it correctly, I guess, or do it optimally.
that's pretty cool. Never heard of that, but I mean,
I know.
go
It
figure,
makes
right? Like
sense.
it
Yeah.
really is so different for each of us.
Yeah. Um, breastfeeding
I wish
such
I
an
had that
interesting.
match milk. That's amazing.
Ah! I was gonna say breastfeeding is such an interesting journey. Ooh.
I agree. Um, I have to hop off, but this is such an awesome call. Like,
I
I
know
love this.
it's fun. I forgot, I didn't even realize it was already right at time. Ah, ah,
See
we're
you
gonna try.
guys.
Bye,
Take care,
Kat. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. For the rest of us, I would say good luck over the holidays. She needs her alone time. Don't be afraid to take your alone time, or as Kat, does, hand off a baby. But yeah, if anything comes up or y'all have any mom hacks that you learned, throw them in the chat or let us know, because I know we'll do another one of these. Yeah.
looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck hosting, Chelsea.
Appreciate it.
Bye. Bye, Heidi.